Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys, and today we're going to do a DIY install on the brake pads for your Q50 and the Q60. Now this is going to apply to the non-sport Q50 Q60, but also this is the same brake calipers used on the G37 and the 370Z, the 2-piston front calipers and the 1-piston rear calipers. But before I get into the video, I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers, to everyone. And if you've been watching my videos for quite a while, please subscribe and watch the video and hit that like button. Let's get into the video. In this video, I'm going to try my best to do everything as quick as possible and as efficient as possible so you guys can do this on your own. But my recommendation is do one corner at a time. One corner. Don't do what Boost in Motion does. I've been doing this for years now, okay guys? Years. I've been working on cars. Another thing I want to talk about is there's specific mounting components under the car. So I'm going to put a card up here that's going to show the mounting components because I just want to make this video short and condensed. So let's get into the video. Alright guys, so there's a few different ways that we're going to do this. But I usually do, when I change my brake pads, I usually change it this way. Some people sit there and say change the whole, move the whole caliper off the bracket. I don't do it that way. Most of the time, I loosen the 14mm bolt right here for the slide, and there's another one back here on this side, right? So you're gonna get a 14mm socket, and you're gonna unloose, right? And it's already unloose for both sides, so I'm gonna pretty much take it off and show you guys. Now, the first thing you're gonna have to do is take off the bottom bolt. I already took it off. Righty tight, lefty loosey, and I move it up. Yeah, dude. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. There you go. All right. Now, most people are going to ask, how are you going to push this back? Well, this is what I usually do. Whatever the case might be. Be careful with this. Take out the brake pad. All right. Damn. Whew, I got the life out of those. I mean, there's still some left, but some meat left. But I'll just go back to the regular brake pads for now. Right, these are the best brake pads I ever had. These Hawk 5.0 brake pads. These things are freaking great. They just dust up a lot. Some people say that they squeak, but they really don't. Now that I took out the pads, right? I'm gonna reuse the old one. Yes, I'm gonna reuse the old one, and watch what I'm gonna do. Right? I'm gonna push it back in, and wait. Matter of fact, let me start setting it up. So pretty much, let me just show you how it's set up. Alright guys, so what I like to do, pardon the wind noise, is I'll take the old caliper now, right? You see that I unbolted this back and I bolted the bottom one back in. Slide the brake pad in there. Now this gets to hold the caliper in place, right? The bottom slide is still holding it in place. And what I'm going to do is grab my trusty C-clamp, wherever the C-clamp is. Where is the C-clamp? Give me a second, guys. Yes, got the C-clamp. And what you guys are going to do now is you're going to put the C-clamp in the middle. And you guys know what to do. Line it up properly. Don't pierce the hole, the brake holes, or anything. And tighten the C-clamp, and that's going to push the pistons all the way in. Alright, so I'm not going to do it on video, but you guys, just a self-explanatory. Clamp the C-clamp. Or clamp the brake pads in and push the caliper pistons in, okay? Let me move on to the next part. Alright guys, so once you have pushed that in, now just be careful of this. Don't push it in too much. You don't want to bury it, and you want to make sure that these I would call them gaskets or the rubber seals, aren't too much exposed and on the face of the pistons themselves, because when you do put the brake calipers in, you don't want it piercing or pinching these seals. All right guys, so just be careful of that. All right guys, so what I usually do next is I usually put the caliper here. Some people might want to use zip ties or coat hangers so it won't fall. This isn't going anywhere unless you're changing the rotor, so I usually just lie it right there. It's not binding the holes or anything like that. Now the next thing you're going to need to do is, usually with the new brake pads, they give you some kind of caliper brake grease, whatever. You put that on the back of the shims or the back of the pad, not the front that touches the rotor. This part here, right here and right here, and right here and right here. Now some people are going to ask which sides of these clips go on, and that always, from what I know, always goes on the inner side. Okay, so whenever you see the ones with the clips, it goes on the inner side. That's from what I was told and from what I know. The ones that are regular go on the outside. Okay, Now I use CRC braking caliper grease. I'm gonna put it on both sides, and then I'm gonna start bolting everything back in. So let me fast forward to that next part. What I usually do is just start with one end and come in on the side and just push it in, and then just move it over, and boom, usually fits right in. The back side may be a little bit annoying. Yeah, this kind of broke this shim a little bit, whatever the case may be, but I might not use this one at all. No, there you go, perfectly fine now. All right, but pretty much that's in. And now what you're gonna do is, of course, start with any bolt you want to start with. Just don't let it fall. Start with the top bolt or the bottom one and tighten it back up, and that's it. Some people are gonna sit there and say, well, this may still give you a little bit of an issue. I'm gonna put a little bit more brake caliper grease around this to make sure it's all lubed up properly, and a little bit on the tab here, just, you know, just for extra lubrication. But otherwise than that, there's no leaks or nothing right here. I'm not gonna worry about this too much. Just make sure that it's not pinching against the piston. All right, so let me just fast forward to the next part. All right, guys, so now that I bolted this part back and this part back, I'm gonna move on to the rear section of the car. Once again, put the wheels on properly. Make sure you tighten up everything. If you have a torque wrench, torque the car to 87 foot-pounds of torque. For aftermarket wheels, I'm not too positive if it's the same amount of foot-pounds, but torque it to 87 foot-pounds. So we're gonna move on to the rear next. Let's go. At any time too, if you want, this is one of the prime times when people might want to spray their calipers or anything. I'm just gonna leave mine normal. I don't really care. The rod rotors are definitely rusty, and they have about 13 to 14,000 miles on it, so they're pretty rusty. But this is my daily, and I don't want to throw a lot of money at it. So let me just go to the next part of this video. All right, guys. So now we're at the back. Now this one is pretty much similar, smaller piston caliper. Once again, this is a 14mm bolt. We're gonna do it from the slides. I'm gonna do this one a little bit different because we might need to re-lube these slides. But once again, I'll lube the slide, push it back, and we're gonna use the same technique that we did in the front in the rear. So let's get to work. Also, here's a quick tip. Some people are gonna want to ask. I'm gonna see if I could do this with video. All right, if you know you can't get it, if you have a short ratchet, right? Get like something heavy, a sledgehammer or something, or even what I use, my jack, my breaker bar. And you just hit against the end, and it breaks it up a lot easier, rather than, because you might not be able to get enough leverage in here. So if you put like a small ratchet on it, don't hit your hands or whatever, and just, that helps a lot. That's a quick tip. So let's fast forward. Now guys, because the rear is a little different, it has the pins. Now these pins will dry up, okay? So we're gonna use the same brake caliper grease on these and re-lube them when we put it in. But as of right now, I'm not gonna lube it. I'm just gonna move it to the side. And once again, we're gonna do the same procedure in the rear. You pick up the caliper, you pretty much rotate it. And in this way, it's a little easier too. So you can take out the old brake pad, put one here, put the caliper, the clamp on it, and push the piston in. Just try to make sure you clean this up a bit with brake cleaner. Some people are gonna get mad I didn't say that you should use brake cleaner at the start, but yeah, spray it up a little bit of brake cleaner. And also, if you made this part of the video, hit the like button, appreciate it. And other people are gonna sit there and say, hey, you got sway bar. So check that video up here. I have an installation video on how to install the STILLEN rear sway bar for the Q50 and Q60. It should also apply similar for the G37 and 370Zs. So let's fast forward. I want to say to you guys right now, I got the life out of these hawk pads, like literally. I know there's still some meat left. There definitely is, but wow, I got the life out of them. So pretty much, you do this the same way, guys. You put, what's that noise I'm hearing? This is what happens when I live in Brooklyn. Anyways, put it there. You put the C-clamp on it, just like I did on the first caliper to the front, and then you push the piston in, use a brake caliper, and lube up. Well, I don't want to say lube up, but use the same brake caliper grease on the old pads. All right, this is going to be some of the old pads I'm putting in. Use the brake caliper grease on the back of them, same way. And same thing like I said with the front. You're going to have the ones with the clips. Put the ones to the clips to the back like that, back there, and then the other ones, put them to the front. So let me fast forward. All right, guys, so now I got these back in. So what I did was lube up both of these because they come out. I lube them up with the same bearing grease and tighten it back up like you usually would tighten it up. And then from then on, I got something to say to you guys. So let me just say it. All right, guys. All right. So I want to just recap it for you guys. I made this video just to make a simple DIY on how to change your brake pads for your Q50, Q60 non-sport calipers. And this also applies to your G37 and 370Z guys with the 2 pistons in the front. All right, guys, and the 1 piston in the rear. A few of my other recommendations for you guys to do is work safe, work clean, and just be careful. You know, guys, I don't want you guys hurting yourself. If you don't feel comfortable doing this type of stuff, don't do it. Take it to a professional. It's just that for some of the guys who are a little bit more immaculated on working on their own car, this video was just perfect for you guys on just how to pretty much get most of this done. Otherwise than that, this is also a perfect time if you want to spray your calipers, if you have non-spray calipers, red, blue, whatever the case might be. Try not to overspray the spray can on the rotors, because that's the rotor's phase. That's very important. And this is also a great time to also change your rotors if you choose to do it. Maybe in a later video I will change the rotors, but at this moment it's the least, and I'm just trying to keep it simple. Change the brake pads, go back, and I might get a BBK then later down the line. You know, I might have to make a DIY on upgrading to a BBK. But otherwise than that, guys, hit the like button if you like this part of the video. If you've been watching my videos for a while, hit the subscription button with the bell notification, guys. I appreciate you guys so much for joining the channel and hope this content continues to help you. I'm trying to go back to my roots and show my love and just start off what keeps this channel going. And it's videos like this that just I get to help you guys and just try to visually show you guys what you need to get done. So otherwise than that, this is BoostinMotion signing out. You have a good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening. Thank you guys. Have a good day.